Good morning, legends. An absolute pleasure to be with you today. I would love to start by saying hello to our new members. We have a few this week, so it's been a pleasure to meet you guys, or you ladies, I should say. And I wanted to introduce you to the Espresso Shot. So what I do on Monday mornings at 8:30, I go live for 10 minutes and I give you some tips and tricks on various topics. Varying from mindset tips and tricks to skills to activities or processes. And so I would like to start by asking you what you are here for today. What is it that you want to get out of the Espresso Shot? And so if you have a moment, I would love for you to go in the comments box below and tell me what it is that you would like to get out of today's session, or why it is that you come to the Espresso Shots. Or specifically, what are you hoping to get from today's Espresso Shot? So I'm going to be looking at what you're writing, because today I have set myself up differently and therefore I have access to seeing some of your comments. All right. Now, what I would like to discuss with you today are mindset tips around what goes on in your head. Because as I've been teaching you and coaching you over the past 2 years, specifically for coaches, what I've noticed is that as you are starting your practice, there are several real challenges that occur. One of which will be how to do things. And that's fine, because you're in the right place to learn how to do things. And another one will be sometimes along the lines of self-doubt. Am I worth $200 an hour? Or is anybody ever going to be interested in becoming my client? Or, should I be putting myself out there on groups, or is it reserved for people who have their packages ready, or people who have more experience? So there are a lot of challenges or mindset challenges that you'll encounter along with the overwhelm challenge that might sometime take place, because you are having to do so many new things, and especially if you're someone who has a bit of fear of missing out and you are checking out what every single mentor out there is recommending or what your friends are saying that you should do. So it becomes a bit of a challenge to focus just on the things that will actually give you results. And even further, it's what should you be focusing on right now? Because some things will be very important for you to become a master of down the track, but you should really start with the basics. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is how to protect this area, and how to only allow VIPs in, right? Because I believe that there are a few things you can do to have what I would qualify as the right mindset for your coaching practice to be successful. All right, so the very first thing, if you haven't done this already, I would love for you to, first of all, get clear on your values. And you might think that this is an obvious thing because you would have done that as a coach. But it's interesting how our minds get pushed and pulled in all directions once we start hanging out online and looking at what other people are doing. And I know that you have a very strong desire to be successful. And so when you have a strong desire to be successful, it's sometimes tempting to put some values aside and really focus on what works for others. But the beauty of being you and the beauty of running an online business in this day and age is that you can be 100% yourself. You can be 100% true to your values and be successful. Because I've said that before and I'll repeat it, but I believe that for every single person who is willing to stand up and lead the way, there are a minimum of 10,000 people who are keen to hear specifically from you, right? So be you, do you, because no one else is doing that. And that starts by being really clear on your values and staying true to your values. The second thing that I would love to encourage you to do, if you haven't done so already, is to plan for your success. Now, what that means in practical terms is that you have to have a clear outcome in mind and clear date when you reach that outcome. Now, it seems easy and simple, but if you let other people tell you that you should be earning this much money, or you should be having these many virtual assistants, or you should be all over your accounting software, it becomes a bit challenging, because you might find yourself thinking, oh my goodness, I have to get all these things done, and it gets so overwhelming that we become paralyzed. So I'd love for you to give yourself some clear outcomes, achievable outcomes within the scope of your big dream. So if my big dream is to earn $1 million from my coaching practice in 12 months, it doesn't have to be this 12 months. It has to be within 12 months. Now, so what do I do right now in order to get me there? So of course, there will be some new skills I have to learn. There'll be some activities I have to put in place, some processes, and I'll have to learn how to do all that. But let's start with having one clear objective with a date that we want to achieve it, and let's work towards it. The third thing I want to suggest in terms of mastering the headspace, the optimal headspace for your success, is deciding who you want to hang out with. You know, as a coach, that some people live in the drama triangle, and we've spoken about that quite a lot. These people may have wonderful hearts. I have some friends who live their whole lives in the drama triangle. Very few of them, but I have some friends. And I make sure that when I hang out with them, I stay outside of the drama. I don't jump in, I don't encourage. That's one way of keeping my relationships with these wonderful people, but not getting drawn into the drama. And then I also select the people that I want to hang out with for the stimulation that they give me. Now, I have started to walk again on Friday mornings, and I'm doing it with a wonderful woman who is an absolute inspiration because of what she's gone through and what she wants to achieve. And so this is one of the gifts I'm giving myself. It's an absolute pleasure because I get to go outside and walk along the beach in an area that I love. And it's also wonderful for my headspace because I'm spending time with someone who is inspiring. The fourth thing is always be learning, but always be learning something that is relevant to you right now. Not relevant in 3 years' time when my whole business is all sorted out. What do I need to learn right now? So if I do an assessment and I find that, for example, my challenge is to write a post that will attract people, you may find that there are other people, other books, other resources outside of the 0 to 5K Legends that will help you fill in the gaps. If this mentor hasn't given you everything you needed on the topic, then you go and get other information to help you with that one challenge that you have. So pick one thing, and usually I'd like for you to troubleshoot from the very beginning, which means that you look at what we need to do in this methodology, which is, first of all, doing a post, then engaging with people so that they book themselves into our diary, or we book them into our diaries. Then we conduct an audition. Then we select if they're a good fit. Then we send them a questionnaire, or we book them into a second call. We do the grow model to make a good recommendation and really understand the pain points. And then we go into making our final recommendation and asking for the transaction. So those steps, they're 5 steps, they're really straightforward. So whatever it is that you need to learn to master those steps, ask me anything you want. And if you find that I am not giving you everything you need, then I'm sure that in the legends, as there are several active people right now implementing the methodology, we will find you additional resources that you'll be able to consult to get you the information that specifically will trigger some sense into your brain and get you across the line and be successful with one of those 5 steps. Now, finally, the last tip I have before I let you go and have a wonderful week is meditation. Now, I done transcendental meditation when I was younger, and then I stopped for some reason that I forget. And in recent times, I have found that meditation really helps me stay grounded. It gives me internal peace. It helps me let go of the superfluous, the extra thoughts that aren't serving me. And it really helps me get clear. And so twice a day, as transcendental meditation suggests, I find 20 minutes for myself and I give this gift to myself to recenter me. And so those are the 5 tips I wanted to give you this morning in the Espresso Shot. I hope it's been helpful. I hope it helps you start your day. And while I've got you with us, I would absolutely love to know what you are planning on doing this week in terms of revenue, what you want to generate for yourself. And I'd love to know what you've banked for the last 7 days. So go in the comments below and let me know what your plan is for the coming 7 days and what you have done retrospectively for the last 7 days. Big hug, legends, and I'll see you in the live session tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.